What's up, squad? What's up, anglers? Today we're playing Fishing Planet, and I'm gonna show you everything you need to know about feeder rods. So let's get into it. Alright, so we're gonna look at the feeder rods real quick. I selected this one here just to showcase it, but you can see there are different uh, powers, medium powers, different lengths, heavy, medium, heavy. It all depends on the feeder fish that you're chasing. Different bigger size fish are heavier, so you need a heavier rod. Today I'm just going to showcase the lightest rod here, but it goes all the way to level 27, alright, extra heavy. So those are the rods. They come in pieces as well, different quiver tips, so you want to make sure to look at the quiver tip size. From what I got out of the quiver tips is the sensitivity and the strength of them. Obviously the lighter ones are more sensitive, I believe, in my opinion. I'm still working on that, trying to figure out how that works, but from what I got, it's sensitivity and backbone and a little bit of strength. So you want to experiment with those. They have different ounce sizes, so you could look at that. I got this one, so it has half ounce, ounce, and then ounce and a half, 1 ounce and a half. So a little tip for you guys right now, if you're playing on PS4 and maybe Xbox, I don't know, there is a starter pack. If you go look in the free downloads, I believe, or in the free content, you'll see that there is a 2.0 Fishing Planet feeder starter kit. I highly recommend that. It comes with a bunch of free stuff. I went ahead and bought it because I didn't know it existed, but I downloaded it afterwards, and it gives you everything you need to start this off, as well as free unlimited licenses for the new European maps or waterways. Alright, so after we look at the rods, we're gonna go to the next thing we need. And obviously you need a leader, right? That's the next thing you need. Obviously you need a reel, so you want to pick the reel. I think they're all spinning, so pick a spinning reel. Alright, so we're looking at the leaders. I went ahead and got this one because I like my line really thin so the fish can't see it. You could go with this one if you want. It all depends on what type of fish you're fishing. But for this showcase, I'm going to show this one. I also got these in the pack that I downloaded here. So you could probably use one of these if you don't want to buy one of your own. So you need a leader. The next thing you need is you need a feeder. So these feeders hold different amounts of chum, right? And they're at different sizes. So obviously the bigger ones are going to hold more and the smaller ones are going to hold less. I don't know the difference between a closed and an open feeder. I've been using the open feeder for now, and I like how it works. I haven't used the closed one. I think it's the same, to be honest. It's just different weight sizes. Yeah. So pick the one you need. Obviously there are different weight sizes, so make sure your rod is compatible with these feeders. The next thing you need is a bell. So there's common bells here. I went ahead and got this one, but you could go ahead and get the simple one. I went with this one because it has high sensitivity. Obviously you don't need the high sensitivity, but however you fish, pick the right one that's for you. Next thing is bait. You want to get the right bait for the type of fish you're going after. Smaller fish love red worms, dough balls, anything that's bready, bread with honey. The barley is for the European. Simolia balls, crickets, flies. I would recommend, to be honest, I would go with the bloodworms if you're going after small fish or feeder fish. Bloodworms or leeches. Alright, so depending on what rod you have is what type of bait you could put on. Obviously, it'll tell you the size in the description. So this has a medium weight. You can't put anything that your rod can't handle. Next thing you need is a chum. And this is where it gets kind of technical, right? So I went ahead and did some research and picked a warm chum and a cold chum. There's different chums for the types of weather you're going to be fishing in. So when you're looking at a waterway that you want to pick where the highest peak of bites or fish activity is on the little wave map, and you want to pick the correct chum for the weather type of that day. So say I go to Texas and I go in the morning, the bites are in the morning. Obviously it's going to be colder in the morning, so I want to get a colder chum for that fishing session, right? So if you go somewhere warm, or say the activity is in the noon and it's a little warmer than usual, you want to go with a warm chum. So there's 3 different types of chum. There's cold chum, cool chum, and warm chum. Obviously, cold chum is for like below normal conditions. I would say normal is like 75-ish. That would be cool. And then hot would be anything hotter than 70, so like 80-ish. So you want to pick your chum according to the weather and what time you're going to be fishing at, alright? I'm going to be doing Texas in the morning, so it's going to be cool. It's going to be like 75-ish. It should be. If it's not, I'll switch it up. So you want to grab, if you can, if your level lets you, you want to grab a base, a chum base, and then an aroma if you can. The particles, chum particles, are in the higher, here's one right here. They're in the higher ranking. So if you could grab those, you could mix those as well with your chum. So you want those 3 things, right? Alright, so that's it for what you need from the store. We're going to go ahead and head to Texas, where I'm going to showcase this setup here. Alright, here we are at Texas. I want to apologize for one thing. I forgot to show you the rod holders. And you need one to do the feeder rods. So here I have a slingshot mono rod stand. It's a rod holder. You select it and you put it wherever you would like, most likely in the direction you're going to be fishing. So you want to look around for splashes, because that's where you're going to be throwing your bait at. So you got some little splashes here, but you're looking for the big bull-ups, and there's some right there. So place it there. You could buy the rod stands at the store. You'll see them. It says rod holder, I believe. Alright, so after that, you want to go to your inventory. Go to your rod selection. Go to the chum area. Click on a chum base. And you want to add more than 10 ounces. The reason why you want to add more than 10 is because in order to mix in the other parts, you need more than 10. Alright, so I'm going to click to 10 here. Right, so now we got our base. Now we need our aroma. So now we click over 1 ounce of aroma per 10. So we're going to add that. And then you want to you see there it says chum mixing, press triangle. So you hit triangle, and then you gotta wait. And if you have a premium account, it's not gonna take as long, but for me, I don't have one, so we're gonna let it go through. Alrighty, so now we have our chum mix. Now to add the chum mix, you want to go to the rod you're going to be using. Go down to this icon here. Go over. Click on this, and now the chum is with the feeder. So now you have a chum on your rod, and you can see the animation or the detail. The little feeder is full of chum. So now we're ready. We got our rod stand, we got our rod. We're gonna look out. So you want to aim this rod. You don't want to just throw it anywhere, because again, you're chumming, so that means you want to hit one spot multiple times, because the more you hit that spot with chum, the more influence you have on fish in that area. So if you keep hitting one spot, more fish will most likely hit your line. Alright, so we're gonna throw the rod right here. You want to let it sink down, all the way down. You want to reel it in just a little bit, have a tight line. Look at your rod holder, press X to put it on, and now you just wait. As you could hear the bell, that's just you from moving, but when a fish hits it, as our line is moving now, it'll most likely make a noise when it's ready, like that. Alright, so you want to pick up your rod. So you want to pull back, hook the fish, and start reeling in, guys. It is as simple as that. You want to make sure your drag is set correctly as well. You don't want to break the line, and you don't want to have the fish just take your line out and not hear anything on the bell, you know. So you want to set it correctly. Here we got a young channel fish, looking pretty good. Took nothing but 5 seconds, and this is a good way to farm money. You know, it takes little to no time to do this. And yeah, that's the basics of bottom fishing, or feeder fishing. Ways to improve your yield or the type of fish is switch up the hook size, you know, experiment with it. Usually the bigger the hook, the bigger the fish. Switch your baits up. You want to experiment what baits are hitting, what's not. And yeah, that's it, man. That's feeder fishing in a nutshell, guys. Let me know how you guys' feeder fishing goes, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.